Hey Jones, come on over here and have a seat. Welcome to S&G. If you've already subscribed, thank you. If you haven't, consider it. And if you want to hit that notification bell to be notified the next time I make fun of this fat bastard right here, smash that flower bell or whatever it is. So, what are we doing? We're working on Doyle's bike.
Well, I guess now he said he was slipping, his clutch was slipping.
Clutch was slipping in fifth gear.
In fifth gear, so...
Sometimes, you know, it just didn't feel good. We've kind of already adjusted our clutch push rod and that didn't seem to do anything. So I would like to take those clutch plates and friction discs out and see what they look like.
Okay.
So
in order to do that, we got to get this out.
I don't think we have to do any of that.
Nope, you just
right here. I think we're going to be right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, don't these have to be adjusted to a certain point? There's springs back here to hold that?
This piece right here is a whole spring.
Okay.
And these are torqued all at the same torque, unlike the older bikes that you do have to adjust and measure. Okay. So we're going to grab some tools. We're going to loosen this up a little bit just to get any pressure. There shouldn't be any pressure on this anyhow. It should be backed off about a half a turn. And we'll take these out and we'll start to pull these out. And once we start pulling them out, getting going, we'll turn the video back on and we'll see. I didn't smell. You smell anything?
No.
I didn't smell the burnt.
Now, when you take a clutch apart, do you mark your discs, the outer one on and in?
You know,
just so you know you get them back in the same spot?
If I was... Yeah, I think that's good because if we end up putting them back together, we might as well put them back together where we've got the wear marks, you know, all the same, etc. So yeah, I'm good. And you know, taking a picture is never a bad idea.
Never a bad idea.
So, all right, well, we'll get started here. Get some tools. Well, Jones, I've got one question for you.
Ask away.
How many of this year's clutch and clutch plate 2007 have you done in your life?
None.
That's exactly how many I've done too. That's exactly what I've done too.
But when you have a manual and a little bit of mechanical ability, you can do it.
Right.
So.
And if anybody out there cares to comment, if you see us do something wrong, let us know. But we do have manuals, and we're gonna start going. So, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I think you do what that deal right there, if you want to take the whole clutch hub off, but we're going to loosen it up anyhow because we're going to adjust it.
So we're just going to back that off, take
That's
a little
good.
bit of pressure off of it.
Yeah.
Then you want to start loosening these 10 millimeter bolts.
Awesome.
And I'm going to go opposite each other.
Because that's under spring pressure, right? That's your actual, so that actual plate that you see right there is a diaphragm spring retainer, right?
Okay.
And then the diaphragm spring, if this is the retainer, this is the diaphragm spring.
Yeah.
And these are all, being that that's under pressure, I've loosened those up evenly so it all comes out about the same spring.
Since
pressure.
I already took one out.
That's all good.
Yep, I can see where you're coming from there, because I'm taking the pressure off of it.
And hopefully it doesn't spring out and
Knock my front tooth out.
hit me in the eye.
We do have our glasses on. They might not be safety glasses, but we do have our glasses on. Now I can tell
Got the pressure off of it?
pressure's pretty much off of it all the way around.
Nice.
Just about there. Yep. And we're doing this why? To check because he said it was slipping.
He said it was slipping, but I figure we just take the clutch plates out. Here's some picks in case you need them. So after we get those 10 millimeter bolts out, the first thing there in your hand is going to be that spring diaphragm retainer. Diaphragm spring retainer.
No, you can only probably put that on one way, but I would do this just, you never know. I always kind of put things back together the way we took them apart. That way we know how things went back together.
There you go. And then you got the diaphragm spring.
My spring.
Next.
Yep.
Okay. Now, we're supposed to inspect that for chips and bends and things that don't look good.
But it don't look bad.
Well, that's a good thing.
I can see what that's doing now. With that setting on there under pressure, it's pushing every one of them down equally all the way around.
Yep.
So it's not pushing one side or the other.
And after we get the diaphragm spring off, we've got your pressure plates, the next piece that comes out. And we want to look at the, oh, that's coming, bringing all the plates out with it. Oh, you know what? I bet this here, I'm wondering if,
I'll bet we gotta take it out and take that
take
retaining.
that retaining spring out.
Yep,
Well, let's do that.
let's do that. I need a big pair of snap ring pliers.
Okay. You need a big pair.
Oh yeah, and those can be fun.
Is it
It's
two,
right there.
two small ends right there?
Yep.
Bigger ones?
No, I think, give me see that one right there. See if you can get in here and get that one. Oh, you had it.
Oh, I can't see.
Open her up a little more.
Can't see a thing, buddy.
There you go.
Is that it?
You're in it now. Let me see if I can go a little bit more. This thing's spinning in my hand.
I'm right your way, aren't I?
You're fine. Can't get under it. There it is. Ouch. You have to get on it again. Bend it. There she comes. It's kind of coming out of there. See if I can walk it out of there. There it is.
Go.
I'm gonna lay that the way it came out of there too.
So I guess that's if you want to take them all out at once, huh?
I guess.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh, ain't that beautiful? It's a beautiful thing.
And then,
So, here's what I hear through the grapevine.
what do you hear?
That vernier calipers, you could look at those. First, you're looking for chips, cracks, things like that. But we're looking for at least, 143 thousandths
Okay.
should be the minimum that they should be before they need to be replaced. And if any one of those are less than 143 thousandths, they need replaced. And it says replace all of them, so let's check it out. I've already got it set up at
You got it
143
set at
thousandths.
143.
Yep.
I can't even get it over top of it. At
It said-
143.
It says check them in multiple different places.
I'll just go in between each and every one of them. Now, the slipping, could that have been just an adjustment?
Well, I don't think so, and I might be wrong. But unlike the old Harleys that we do, you can't tighten up the springs because this spring is tight. This diaphragm spring's tight in that
Gotcha.
way. So let's just dig in a little deeper.
All right, I'm gonna lay these down how they came off of there, one on top of the other. Now, this is what they say to lay down flat and see if it's warped.
Yeah. On a piece of glass, and if it's warped any more than 6 thousandths, they say replace them. Or if they're blue.
Lay that flat on a piece of glass and see if you can get a feeler gauge in there at 6 thousandths.
Anything more than 6 thousandths?
And I don't see, well, I see a little bit of blue right here.
Mm-hmm.
On the inside, and I'm wondering if that's just heat treated.
Oh no.
Yeah, there's a little.
Well, let's dig in. We'll inspect each one of them once we get them all cleaned up. But let's dig in and see if we can find any obvious stuff.
So I'm just going to keep taking them off and laying them on there. How many are in here?
Gosh, I think there's 9 friction discs and 8 clutch plates.
That's quite a few.
Yeah. Any of them look burnt or?
No.
Because I was a little surprised that he was having issues with as low a mileage as it has. But I guess a lot of that depends on how you ride, huh?
We'll have to, well, once we get them all out, like you say, we'll check each one individually. Nothing's jumping out at me. They all look like they're pretty much. How much is a clutch for one of these? Do you know offhand?
Yeah, I think you can get the, they make a 10, it's called an extra friction clutch plate. And then you take a couple of the retaining springs out in the back. It's supposed to make it shift a little better. And they're about between 100 and 150 bucks.
One more in here.
So far you're not seeing anything sticking out, huh?
No. We're in deep. Let me see what this one is. And that's the, well, that's the last one. I still, well, I can get it over that one.
Get it over that one?
Yep. And that one I can't.
So we'll do a little bit of
And then I think, is there one more, or is that it?
yeah, should be a couple of rings. There should be a spring ring and a retain.
Well, this is the last thing I see in here.
And that should be beveled. The bevel should be coming toward you.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the last.
And then there should be one more.
There's another one of them in there.
Yep, should be one more piece.
I'm gonna lay this one right on top like that.
Mm-hmm. And that's the last piece coming out right there.
And it's probably beveled too.
I think it might be flat, but I don't know because it's the first one I've ever seen.
Well, I think the big thing is just pay attention when you're tearing something apart.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Document.
That one is flat.
Yep.
And it seems like it's got its sharper edge on the back edge here, and it's kind of rounded on this side, so
Okay.
that's the way it went in there, like that.
All right.
I'm gonna lay it right on top of that one.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to actually take each one of those discs. We're going to clean them up. We're going to measure them. We're going to see if it needs to be replaced, if we find any bad stuff, and we'll let you know. You think that sounds like a plan, Joe?
Sounds like a plan to me,
All
brother.
right, buddy. We'll see you here in a little bit. Jones, what in the hell we got going on here?
Well, we've never been into a clutch like this before, and we can't figure out why it was slipping. All the research you've done and you looked at, it said to lay these out here on a piece of glass.
So here's what we did. First, we cleaned them up.
Cleaned them up.
That's 600, or that's
6
thousandths.
Feeler gauge.
And they say if any of these are warped, lay them on a piece of glass, and you can slip under one of them, right? Right?
I mean, I do that when it wants to push it around. That one there, I can get underneath that one without moving it too much. This one, not so much. And I'm holding this down with my finger to the glass. I can get under that one.
So obviously warped then. And is it blue?
I mean, maybe a little bit. Yeah, it's looks a different color.
Blued on the outside edges.
Yeah. So
it says if any of them are discolored, but I would expect them to get discolored, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Here's another thing. We're looking at this. Here, Jones, take this camera and I'll show you this. So I cleaned this one out, and we've got this set at 143 thousandths, and you're supposed to go across each one of these discs are offset. This one's here, the one on this side's a little bit over, so you kind of have to go at an angle to get. This is the only one that I've found that I can
get on both sides.
I can get on both sides. So if I question whether is that really this seems like minute stuff.
Very minute.
Right? Where I'd let that slide. Now, they also say glaze. So if they're glazed, and they are glazed, could we go with a little 400 grit sandpaper, which is what they call for, and sand them up, and maybe they would work okay?
What we did was we took one of these, we cleaned them up, we took a piece of 400 grit sandpaper and laid it down there like so, and just kind of ran over it, and you could see what it was taking off. I don't know. Is that enough to make it slip? Like I was saying to you, if this was a $500 clutch,
I'd be putting it back together.
I would do this to each one. I'd get a new piece of sandpaper for each one, clean each one, each plate, each disc up, and I'd put it back together and take my chances. But for what's a clutch cost?
I think I got a clutch, and it's supposed to be a good clutch, for like, they're 120 to 100, I don't remember exactly, but they're under 150 bucks. And here's the deal. My buddy Doyle, who owns this bike, has been righteously doing grand things for me for a long time. I'm not able to get to a place. He kind of helps me along, and I told him we'd build this bike and put some tires on it and go over it, and it's gonna be on my dime, and it should be. So for 150 bucks, I'm not gonna take a chance of I don't want to throw money away, but at the same time, I'm not gonna save 130 bucks or something like that and waste a gasket when I know that he said it's slipping. And as far as I know, I don't think that, I never rode it, so I didn't feel that, but I don't think you can tighten anything up like you can the old 4-speeds, right? So I say we ask some people out in YouTube land, tell us what you think. So we've got some bluing on some plates. We do have one of the, I was able to find a friction plate that was smaller than what the minimum was. So I don't know.
I say we put a new clutch in, and if he says it's slipping, we'll say it's in your head. It's brand new. It can't slip. No, you don't know what you're talking about.
Right,
that's all brand new.
Oh, show him the one groove on the one plate from the back spring. I thought that was interesting, and maybe that should be like that because it doesn't say anything about that on the manual.
This first one off has a groove cut in the back side of it.
That's a pretty.
And it's got to be from that first one right there. It rides right there, like that. So that's the only groove we've seen in any of them.
And is that groove 1,000? You think? You think it's a couple thousands?
Couple of thousands.
Maybe that's enough.
I can get my finger, you know, to catch on it.
Let me just get in there and see that groove. Oh, I can see the groove.
And that's from that right there. Now,
so I wonder if that I wonder if we could flip that around when we put it back in.
I was going to say, if you, well, doesn't this come with the, this all comes with the new clutch, right?
I think it does come with a new clutch.
So, yeah, let me get that on there right. Yeah.
All right. Well,
I say we put a new clutch in it, put her back together, go out there and do a couple hole shots, see what happens.
there you go. I think you're right.
We should have smoked this rear tire off before we brought this thing in here, you know?
We should have. We absolutely should have.
Since we're putting a new tire on, we could have done a burnout with Doyle's bike. Put a
That's
little bit
right.
of bleach down on the ground and just let her have it.
That's right. Well, we'll be back once we get the clutch comes in. It's on order. We got a big cold front coming in that might slow
You
things
working
down.
tomorrow?
Oh, I'm like the mailman. I work every day.
Well, see, that's us school teachers. They called us off and they said, you can have today. Well, we got Martin Luther King today. We can have Tuesday and Wednesday off also. So if you had some parts, I could get this thing gone and I could take her for a test drive.
Now, I can find something for you to do. Trust me.
I'll keep cleaning, Doyle. I'll keep cleaning her up. I got about 80% of it done.
There you go.
I'll keep cleaning.
Well, thanks for watching our silliness. Please comment, help us out, and we'll go from there. And hey, if you ride them, wrench them, but only if you want to.
Amen. Have a good one.
See ya.